Alright, you guys, getting ready for that third and final drawing. Looks like our apple is down to its last bits of life. It's been a delicious apple, though, I can say. So, what do we got now? Getting down to that core. Our visual information has changed quite a bit from where we started. Most of what we're looking at now is the interior of the apple. Maybe we acknowledge that we're getting some of those bites are getting a little bit close to the seeds. We got some dark spots on the inside there. Definitely some more shadow happening in those bite marks. A lot more of those kind of rocky, jagged lines. Remember I was describing it kind of like the side of a cliff or something. So just like we did with our first two drawings, we want to begin with visualizing this on our paper, how it's going to sit. Starting off with drawing that bounding box. So obviously what we have left is much thinner than our first two drawings, so my bounding box isn't going to be nearly as wide. So about the same height as the first two, but maybe a little bit more narrow. Right? Lines are dark enough for us to see, but not so dark that it's going to be difficult to erase. And if you hadn't noticed before, my drawings, the scale I've been working with is just a little bit larger proportion than what the actual apple is. So, like I said, you never want to draw really anything smaller when we're working with handheld objects or palm-sized objects. But drawing a little bit larger is quite all right. I would never draw, for a project like this, task like this, I wouldn't want to be drawing twice as large, especially with, this size object. Wanting to have 3 different drawings on one page, you would run out of space way too quick. So drawing a little bit larger, maybe 10-20% larger, no problem at all. Another thing I should say right now is if your bounding boxes by chance were overlapping a little bit, right? If they're touching each other, that's okay. If your apple's touching each other, that's okay too. Don't freak out too much about that. Of course, it's good to slow down and think about how your objects are being placed on your paper. But it's not going to be the end of the world if your drawings are kind of, impeding on one another, touching each other. No big deal, you guys. Most importantly is you just getting the experience of, getting comfortable with observing an object, transmitting that visual information from what you see through your hand into your pencil onto the paper. So there you go. All right. So I got my bounding box down here, third and final drawing. I was already kind of looking at this earlier and looking at this angle here about. So now to begin, I'm going to go ahead and just, rather than doing that oval shape, why not? Let's do that. Kind of get this loose oval shape. Really the point of this is just to get the top part of my drawing in there. I'm going to pause for a second. I feel like this needs to be a little bit more narrow. And that's okay. I want to make that executive decision right there. I can just tell when I started moving my pencil, it just didn't feel right. It felt a little bit too wide, and I didn't want to show you. I didn't want to try and fudge it. So that feels so much better. It really does. If it's not feeling right for you guys, don't try and force it. Pause, think about it. What do you need to change to make it feel right? And that works for me. From there, kind of jump a little bit. There we go. And I'm not going to draw this oval shape. I'm going to let this kind of just come down real loosely to what I'm kind of seeing as lines on my apple. Something like that. Just maybe a little bit more jagged over here. Something more like that. Yeah. A little bit of apple skin kind of peeling up right there. Some more apple skin. Come on up over here. We got the top of the apple here. Still got some of that skin with those textured lines of the skin showing. Something like that. It's okay. Switch this one, thinner line through here. Again, eyes jumping back and forth, looking at the object, taking that information, putting it into my drawing. Right. Eyes pick up the info, sends the message to the hand. The hand uses the pencil to relay that information onto the paper. Observational drawing. Right, that's what it's all about. Said it before, is it perfect? Is it exactly what we see? No, it's not exactly what we see. I don't know. I'm no mathematician. Maybe it's 60% what we see. Maybe it's 80% what we see. When I say what we see, I mean as far as perfect. Is it every single line, every single mark that's in this actual apple? Or is it the representation? Now, I feel like that might contradict the whole idea of observational drawing, but I don't think so. Right? Because we're still making clear observations. Probably spending, I don't know, 50-50? I remember reading one of those books about how much time you should spend looking at the object versus how much time you should be looking at your paper. And there was some percentile. Look at the object for 2 seconds, bring information to the paper for 5 seconds. Look at the object for 2 seconds, back to the paper for 5 seconds. I forget how it broke it down, but there's value there. Let's clean this up. This looks a little bit funky over here. I'm not sure what I was doing. Got some line texture going on. Getting a little bit wonky. A little bit wonky over here. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit tired today. I don't know what it was. Didn't sleep so great. Making art when you're tired is always a little bit of a challenge, in my opinion. Just not feeling that creative juice, not quite as focused as I like to be. But you know what? Rain or shine, make more art. Gotta do it. Not gonna draw itself. Gotta get out there and do it. I always find any time, any day that I get to draw, any day that I get to make some art is a good day. I just feel better about it. I just feel like the day was more complete. And it usually makes me feel more relaxed by the end of the day. I usually sleep a little bit better. Makes me have a little bit of a smile on my face when I reflect on the day and just how I spent my time. So now I'm kind of looking more at the interior. All those bite marks. Get me thinking about lunch now. It's about lunchtime. It's past lunchtime. Jeez. What am I going to eat? What sounds good today? Making me hungry thinking about it. Again, the pencil's kind of wandering a little bit at the moment, right? My eyes picking up. My hands kind of leading that pencil, kind of wandering around. Pencil's kind of walking around, wandering, making those lines. I'm going to bolden some of these lines over here just to really show the difference between the skin, edges of the skin, edges of the apple, and the actual interior. How's that look? That's coming along. And you know, sometimes with our drawings, it's nice to leave it a little bit incomplete. It gives the viewer a chance for them to kind of fill in with their own mind's eye, their own imagination, the missing information. Not always, but sometimes. You leave a little bit of something to be discovered by the viewer, something for them to fill in on their own. And it can make the drawing kind of feel even more complete. I guess the idea of less is more comes to mind. So it's just something to think about, you guys. Maybe you want to omit, leave some areas, leave it out. I'm going to do a little bit of shading back in here, see how this feels. Show some of those crevices, those bite marks that I made. I'm so hungry. That works. Maybe in here I'll do some shading. I'll talk more about shading with you guys in another video. We'll be looking at, how to make a value scale and looking at tonal range and how that can kind of add another level of life to our drawings. I'm not sure if I like what I'm doing right now. I think I'm getting too hungry. All this staring at apples and well past my lunchtime. I'm going to wind it down here pretty soon, you guys. We've been going at it for almost an hour, right? So hopefully this video is giving you some better understanding of just good practice for observational drawing. And as far as this particular task goes, with drawing the apple in 3 stages, if you started something in class and didn't quite finish it or had a hard time with it, hopefully this video gives you a little more in-depth look at the process. And feel free to refer back to this video, skip around different parts of it, see what works for you. And if you missed class and are looking at this video, and this is the first demonstration for this little task, I hope it was clear. Shoot me an email if you have any questions about it, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Otherwise, just keep practicing it, guys. It's not going to come the first time. It won't come the second time. Again, just like riding a bike, you got to persevere. Stay strong and keep smiling. Enjoy the process. All right, everybody, have a good one. Rock and roll. Make more art. I'll zoom in here really quick to see what we're doing. There we go. Certainly looks like a rocky apple, doesn't it? A lot more information we could have added to it. A lot more information we could have done with the shading. Not necessary. It all depends on what you, the creator, want to do. I think it is important to go through and kind of annotate our drawings. Again, we can start at the top over here. I'm all wacky. Maybe up here we'll do, let's use the B pencil. Observational drawing. Let's say apple 3 phases. Let's say, phase uno, phase doso. Does this wouldn't work? There we go. And then over here, phase el trazo. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Always give your drawings a title with your annotations. Make sure you have some kind of a header, subheader. It's good to date your drawings just so you can reflect back on it too and kind of see where you came from. But every page in your journal really should be balanced between some kind of visual information and some kind of textual information. Okay? Rock and roll, guys. Have a great day. Like I said, make more art.